हे एवरीवन, मेरा नाम अभिषेक है और पिछले काफ़ी दिनों से हम बहुत ही अमेजिंग फ़िल्म आदि पुरुष के बारे में रेगुलर बात कर रहे हैं। तो थोड़ा सा मौका हमें मीडियोकर फिल्म्स को भी देना चाहिए। हमें बहुत ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इंक्लूसिव बनना चाहिए। तो आज एक बहुत ही मीडियोकर सी फिल्म RRR की बात करेंगे, जिसके ऊपर श्याम शर्मा ने एक वीडियो बनाई है कि कैसे वो फिल्म मीडियोकर रह गई। तो देखते हैं।
So there's a film that's gone viral
ओके, आई गेस ये इंग्लिश में है ये वीडियो। तो
all over the world. And for the first time in a very long time, it's not a DC film. It's not a Marvel film. It's not even a Christopher Nolan film. It's actually a film from India.
It's called RRR.
R.
यस, एक्चुअली मैंने भी बहुत सारे जितने भी फॉरेनर्स मूवी रिव्यूज़ बनाते हैं उनमें से बहुत सारे लोगों का रिव्यू देखा और थोड़ा मुझे भी लग रहा था कि यार इतने सारे लोग इस फिल्म को रिव्यू कर रहे हैं, क्या बात है।
What else can I say about RRR?
People love this film, and I mean love it.
Watching this film is like watching film history being written right in front of your eyes.
And I can't remember the last time that I screamed, hollered, laughed, clapped, just had an all-around insanely good time watching a movie.
Because everything Hollywood movies wish they had to.
I thought RRR was awesome, Dad.
So, how did this Tollywood film first win over all of India and then conquered the entire world? Let me tell you why that happened and why personally I love this film, and I really hope this is a turning point for Indian cinema. So in case you've been
और कीप इन माइंड कि साउथ इंडियन मूवीज़ पे मीम्स बनते हैं पूरी दुनिया में, उनकी जो फिज़िक्स के साथ जो वो बलात्कार करते हैं उस चीज़ के ऊपर।
living under a rock, or you saw Shamshera and fell into a deep coma.
आई मीन करते थे, थोड़े आज से 5 साल पहले की बात कर रहा हूँ।
RRR is a Tollywood film directed by S.S. Rajamouli and starring two of Tollywood's biggest stars, Ramcharan Teja and NTR Jr. The film was made on a budget of around 550 crores, which is around $72 million, and the film grossed around 1,200 crores, which is around 160 to 170 million dollars. It is one of the most successful films in Indian history. So it begs the question, why is this film so successful? Why does the world love RRR so much? Well, because RRR is kind of a masterpiece for many reasons. First of all, it just makes cinema fun. It reminds the world of what cinema is supposed to be. Escapism, exciting, fun. As a Western movie reviewer said,
लेकिन आपको पता है ये क्या नहीं कर पाए? ये वो नहीं कर पाए 550 करोड़ रुपए खर्च करने के बावजूद जो आदि पुरुष ने सिर्फ 500 करोड़ रुपए खर्च करके अचीव कर लिया, पोगो लेवल।
Epic drama movie featuring insanely overblown action sequences that take the laws of physics, gravity and common sense and tell them to go fuck themselves.
and this
तो आई गेस वो अभी भी वो कर रहे हैं।
is what Bollywood has missed for the last few years.
Physics का बलात्कार।
There is clearly a place for serious, low-key, more esoteric cinema. But Indian cinema's USP has always been that it turns the dial to 11. The uniqueness of the Indian film industry, that no other film industry does quite as well, is that old
Dial
stereotype that
पे
this
11
film
था
has
ये।
action, romance, drama, comedy, music. It is completely paisa vasool. And that is exactly what RRR is. But the amazing thing about this film is that everything that it does completely sincerely. Whether it's action, comedy, drama, emotion, romance, the film commits 100%. If this was Hollywood, if this was a Marvel movie, they'd be winking at the camera like Deadpool, being like, oh my god, look at all this over-the-top action, look at all this over-the-top emotion. We realize how absurd this is, that's why we're winking at the camera. But that's the beauty of RRR. It is completely genuine. At one point, one of the heroes fights a crowd of about 3,000 to 4,000 people alone with just a stick. The stick is so bloody overpowered that China is already trying to figure out how to copy this
How to get
technology.
this stick,
It
yes.
is over the top, but
यही जो हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी है, ये लोग सोचते हैं कि चाइना हमसे आगे निकल गया है, बट वो है सी, वो लोग सी हैं। C++ वाला सी नहीं, या सी कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेज वाला सी नहीं, एक दूसरा वाला सी होता है, वो वाला सी। एक्चुअली हम ऐसे ही निकलेंगे चाइना से आगे।
it is not played for laughs. It is done completely genuinely. Our heroes throw motorcycles at the villains. Our heroes throws a bloody cheetah at the villains. Our hero shoots an
चीता नहीं था भाई, तेंदुआ था। There is a difference.
arrow arrow into a tree and then kicks that arrow into a British soldier's head. Again, it's all done completely seriously, and that is why it is awesome. This is the magic that classic 90s movies like Face Off used to have, that Hollywood and Bollywood have slowly lost. Even the core of the film, which is the friendship that develops between our two heroes of the film, is shown completely genuinely. You know that if this was a Hollywood film, they would have thrown a bunch of gay jokes into the movie at this point. The other reason why people love this film is because it is a completely original movie. There is a real lack of original films all over the world. Bollywood has had this problem for quite a while, where they've just been remaking more.
बॉलीवुड और मेरे में क्या सिमिलैरिटी है, जब मैं 8वीं क्लास में पढ़ता था तो मैं एक चीज़ होती थी, किताब एनसीईआरटी की बुक होती है, एक होती है कुंजी। कुंजी मैं भूल गया यार कौन सी, कम एनडी की कुंजी है, पता नहीं किसकी कुंजी, क्या कुछ होता है, उसको कुंजी कहते थे आई गेस, हिंदी में वर्ड होता है कुंजी, आई गेस चाबी को कहते हैं। तो वो मोटी एनसीईआरटी की बुक पढ़ने की बजाय मेरे जैसे जो शरीफ लोग थे, वो जिनसे पढ़ाई हो नहीं पाती थी, वो कुंजी खरीद लेते थे और वो कुंजी से क्वेश्चन पढ़ के एग्ज़ाम दे के 60-70% ला के खुश कर देते थे सबको अपने आसपास, एक्सेप्ट ऑफ कोर्स अपने माँ बाप को। तो यही चीज़ बॉलीवुड कर रहा है, कुंजी की जगह वो साउथ इंडियन मूवीज़ और हॉलीवुड मूवीज़ को उठा उठा के उसमें से टीप रहा है।
More successful and better South Indian films. In the United States, Marvel has basically turned the art of making movies into an algorithm or a formula, which has led to what I call the McDonaldization of movies. You know exactly what you're going to get when you go see a Marvel film now. Okay, maybe not exactly.
Yeah.
Which has drastically
Yeah,
reduced the
exactly.
excitement of fans when they're
कुछ भी हो सकता है भाई, अपने रिस्क पे जाना। अब आप फिल्म देखने जा रहे हो थिएटर में तो
going to watch
वो
Marvel
किस्तान के
products in Phase 4. And that's why even the people that are involved in Marvel movies are loving RRR so much. Another reason why this film is connecting with audiences over the world is because it is just sensational anti-British propaganda. And I mean, who in the world can't get behind hating the British? Except
Exactly.
maybe the British. Who are, by the way, extremely triggered by this film. For whom the thought of a British officer torturing an Indian is just unthinkable. Who believe that Netflix should be ashamed of promoting such propaganda against the British. Seriously, how are the Indians not happy that we took all of their money, killed a bunch of their people? We thought it'd be really fun for them. We thought it'd be just like FIFA Manager for them. When instead of you rebuilding a football team from scratch, the Indians would have to rebuild their entire country from scratch.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
The film has echoes of Inglourious Bastards, which is one of the best
पर ब्रिटिश लोगों को खुश होना चाहिए कि एटलीस्ट हम उनको रेलेवेंट रख रहे हैं उनकी हरकतों के लिए।
pieces of historical fiction ever produced. And listen, as much as this film has triggered certain British people, the film isn't even about that, really. The real story is about the friendship between the two
मैं तो कर भी दिया तो कर दिया, क्या हो गया ट्रिगर, हाँ नहीं तो
main characters and how they come together to fight
करेंगे
the enemies of the
और
world.
बनाएंगे ऐसी
And
फिल्में।
another reason why I think the world loves this film and why I personally love this film is because the film is not trying to be a Western film. It is unabashedly an Indian movie. It wears India on its sleeve proudly. It's not trying to be a Western film. It's not trying to shed its Indianness in order to appeal to a Western audience. This is what a certain section of Indian filmmakers do not understand.
ये एक्चुअली ना थोड़ा सा सीरियस बात है, इस पर थोड़ी करते हैं बात। जब देखो, आपने बहुत बार सुना होगा हर इंसान एक इंडिविजुअल है जो कि यूनिक है अपने आप में, वो कोई और नहीं बन सकता। मैं शाहरुख खान नहीं बन सकता, या मैं व्हाटएवर जॉन ट्रेवल्टा नहीं बन सकता, मैं अभिषेक ही बन सकता हूँ अपने से बेटर, लाइक जो आज हूँ उससे बेटर। ये चीज़ जैसे ये मूवी पे जॉनरा पे इसने अप्लाई की ना कि भाई ये एक अनअबैशडली इंडियन मूवी है, तो पूरी दुनिया आपको लाइक ही आपकी इंडिविजुअल यूनिकनेस के लिए करती है, क्योंकि जो दूसरी चीज़ आप बनना चाहते हो वो तो उस दूसरी चीज़ में आपसे बेटर क्वालिटी की पहले से ही है। तो ये चीज़ सिर्फ मूवी पे नहीं, ये इंडिविजुअल पे के तौर पे हमारे ऊपर, या लाइक ये लाइक वन ऑफ दोज बेसिक ट्रूथ्स नहीं होते दुनिया के जो हर जगह अप्लाई करते हैं। ये वो उस तरीके का ट्रूथ है कि ओरिजिनल बनना चाहिए इंसान को, जो वो खुद है, और उस में प्राइड लेके उसका जो बेस्ट वर्जन है वो सामने लाए, या मोस्ट ट्रूथफुल वर्जन है।
When they project their own culture as backward and uncouth in order to appeal to a larger audience. And that is why that
कुछ और
same
बनने के
section
लिए
of people hate RRR. That is why they call this film Hindutva propaganda. That is why they believe that this film is furthering Hindutva nationalism's project. That's the thing, man. If you don't like yourself, you can't expect anybody else to like you either.
Exactly.
Why I love the film is because it's full of Indian civilizational symbolism. The story of the two heroes resembles the friendship between Sri Ram and the freakishly strong Hanuman. Alluri Sitaram Raju's transformation in the climax of the movie into almost like a Sri Ram-like figure is just beautiful. The movie ends with a victorious Ram returning to his village with Sita after defeating the British.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
These civilizational aspects are why Indians connected so
True.
deeply with this film. And this is why I believe that Westerners connected to this film as well. Because Indian culture is very different from Western culture, and so it is very unique for a Western
कुछ यूनिक देखने को मिला उनको.
audience. And so the celebration of this Indian culture is incredibly exciting for such an audience. A film like RRR is completely in opposition to a film like Gehraiya, which 95% of India just can't resonate with. Again, not to say that there isn't a market for films like Gehraiya, but a global audience.
मैं बताता हूँ गहराइयाँ के लिए देखने वाले हैं 7 लोग, बस 7 लोग हैं पूरे दुनिया में. एक्चुअली इंडिया में भी नहीं, पूरी दुनिया में बस 7 लोग हैं जिनको फिल्म देखनी थी, जिनके लिए वो बनी है. 7 लोगों की मार्केट के लिए उन्होंने फिल्म बना दी, उनकी मर्जी, उनके पास पैसा है, उन्होंने बना दी. और गहराइयाँ इसीलिए बहुत गहराई में चली गई, जिसका कि मैंने कभी आज पहली बार ज़िंदगी में नाम सुना है.
Audience will rather tune in to watch RRR over Gehraiya because if it wants to watch a weird
Gehraiya के लिए
esoteric
गहराई
drama,
में
it
जाना
would
पड़ेगा
rather
यार.
watch its own dramas. Another reason why I love this film is because it's incredibly proud of India, just like the Hindutva movement. It's not ashamed of its culture. Just like the Hindutva movement believes that we can improve upon the actions of our ancestors, we can improve upon our traditions, but we will not discard them. The film doesn't have any preachiness to it. If this was a Bollywood film, you know for a fact that Alluri Sitaram Raju would be an atheist. Instead of wearing his sacred thread, he would cut off his sacred thread. But then he would meet the Muslim family and become so overwhelmed by their kindness that in the climax of the movie, he
या एक्चुअली ट्रेडिशंस में रिफॉर्म तो किसको नहीं चाहिए. पूरी दुनिया की कोई भी ट्रेडिशन, कैथलिक्स हो, मिडल ईस्ट हो, इंडिया हो, जापान हो. जापान को हम इतना ज़्यादा लाइक आइडियलाइज करते हैं, बट उनके अंदर भी लाइक सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्टिव थॉट्स कुछ ज़्यादा ही हाई लेवल पे हैं. लाइक जो पहले सामुराई अपने आप का हारागिरी कर लिया करते थे हारने पे, वो आज के टाइम पे ट्रांसफॉर्म होके जो ऑफिस वर्कर्स हैं, अगर वो अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाते तो सुसाइड कर लेने के लेवल में ट्रांसफॉर्म हो गया है एंशियंट टाइम से मॉडर्न टाइम में. तो प्रॉब्लम जो है ना वो सारे कल्चर्स में है. लेकिन कल्चर को डिस्कार्ड, बहुत सारी अच्छी चीज़ें भी हैं जापानीज़ कल्चर में, सेम हमारे कल्चर में भी बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स रही होंगी, बट उनको रिफॉर्म करना इम्पॉर्टेंट है.
He would put on a skull cap and go out to fight the British and the evil Brahmin zamindars. You know that's what Bollywood would have done. And
Shamshera.
again, talking about subliminal
शमशेरा की बात हो रही है क्या? शमशेरा.
messaging, the film shows without any preachiness how a tribal and a non-tribal just became the best of friends. This is the India envisioned by Hindutva and people like Veer Savarkar. Rama and Bhima not fighting each other, but joining hands to fight the enemies of the civilization.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, boy.
Again, speaking of subliminal messaging, when the left is busy telling you that Vande Mataram is a communal slogan, when certain Muslim leaders tell their followers not to chant Vande Mataram because it is un-Islamic, to see a mainstream film like RRR unabashedly embrace Vande Mataram caused me as much happiness as the pain I'm sure it caused Arfa Khanum and 45-year-old JNU students. And the last song of the film really showcases how ambitious RRR is as a film. It makes it very clear that it is a Telugu film, but it is meant for entire India. And if Bollywood doesn't want to appeal to India, Tollywood will happily take its place. How they showed great Indian heroes like
Bilkul
Netaji
bhai.
Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Patel, Tirunelveli, and even Shivaji are some of the reasons why Indians connect to this film so strongly and why the gatekeepers of Indian culture hate it so much. For a culture that has lacked self-respect for a better part of a century, to see a film love its culture so much, how can you not root for such a movie? And also, I hope that this film shows Bollywood the way forward. I hope Bollywood learns some lessons from
But after all this joking and whatever, मूवी बनाने के लिए राजा मौली को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि उन्होंने ये मूवी इस तरीके से बनाई.